up? It's your boy Leo Faded. Welcome to the Straight Faded Podcast. I got a Straight Faded playlist on my Apple Music, so shout out to Phantom Lopes. Check out Walk Straight featuring Nevik. And tonight I got a special guest. He's a real close homie. He's a interesting person, you do a podcast too,
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
let me know
Let me know.
podcast.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
What's up, everybody?
You go by the name Angel, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, dude, that's my fucking name.
Yeah, like what?
Okay, like
For
curse.
for those that don't know, like that's how your name of the podcast. Let
Oh
me
yeah,
know.
let
That's
me
where it comes
know.
from.
Yeah, it's my last name is Lem, so I've never had a use for my last name. So like once I started doing my show, I had to find like a clever name, and what I do is basically ask questions. It's an interview show. So I was like, well, I'm asking people to let me know about them. I was like, well, my last name is Lem, so it just made sense to use my last name and
Yeah.
let me know.
And what got you into like starting a podcast?
Um, so I was stuck in them good old days, them high school days. I couldn't get away from them. Like, even though those good old days, those high school days weren't that good for me. Like, I was like, normal. I wouldn't stand out. I was into soccer. Like, I really wasn't like, it wasn't that good, I guess. But I
Yeah.
couldn't let go of those things when, once I graduated, I was still stuck on them, thinking about the past. And like, I thought I was good at soccer and I was a good student, but I couldn't get away from that. And I was just stuck on that. And I went through a breakup, and that was my identity, I guess. Being like, being with somebody, and once that happened, I had to like realize like, who am I? Who am I? And then, but I was still stuck on those days, like the past. And then I started doing stand up, and I needed a way to promote myself. So I was like, well, podcasts helped me when I was going through those dark times. So I figured, well, maybe I could do that for somebody else. And I thought, well, this is the perfect way to get my name out there, to like, I talk to people, and man, I'm a nobody, and I knew a lot of people from Wilmington, like that's where I'm from. And I saw that they're also doing like you're doing your music, you've been doing it for a while. And like I knew other people that were doing the arts, opening businesses. So I figured the only way that I'm gonna get my name out there is if I bring other people, and I'm all about helping. So I figured, why not help each other? Like, they already have somewhat of a name. Like, I'm getting started, but people know me a little bit. So I figured, why not like help each other? Like, your followers listen to you, and then if they like me, then they'll stay.
Yeah.
And then the people that know me, if they like you, then they'll follow you. So, yeah, it was just through some dark time that I was going through, and through like being stuck in the past. And once I started my show, I started looking towards the future, like realizing who I was and what I wanted. I haven't done stand up for like since the pandemic started, but yeah, that's pretty much the start.
Then that's crazy you say that too, cause like it's like we kind of I guess we could say we think the same, cause we both come from Wilmington.
Yeah.
And then I was telling you, you started the podcast way before I want to do a podcast, so I'm telling you, you kind of influenced me to do my podcast. Like do this. I'm ready starting también.
Yeah, yeah.
So like it's kind of tough. Like you do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Then I'm pretty sure you probably took a break.
Yeah. Well, I take a lot of breaks, but it's because I get sad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a very emotional person, and the thing that got me to take these breaks were like, I get depressed sometimes, like really, really bad depressed, and I started like, man, nobody listens to me. Like, nobody wants to listen to me. Like, I'm a nobody, and I get in my own head when that happens, and that's the reason why I take breaks. And there was a time where I couldn't even book anybody. Like, I wanted people on, and they didn't want to come on. So, like, I always thought that like I couldn't I couldn't be on my own because I'm not interested enough. But then I was like, you know what? If I want to continue doing the show, I have to like go on my own and start talking about things that are happening in my life. And then people were messaging me like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm going through the same thing. What you said on this episode like really stuck out. But I mean, like you're going through a hard time. Like, people were encouraging me to keep going. And now looking at those episodes, like some of those episodes where I'm by myself, like they're higher than some episodes that I have with guests. So like now it made me realize like, man, like I'm over here thinking that people don't want to listen to me, but like they're super supportive. So like, yeah. And then other times like my equipment doesn't work. Well, like I mean, we all need a break. You get burned out. Like,
Yeah.
so like sometimes like we need a break. Like I'm a nobody. So like this shouldn't matter if I take a little small break. But I think the longest break I've taken is like 2 months, and that was because I was depressed. I was like really sad. I was down on myself, and like nothing was working out. And but then eventually I was like, you know what? Like I like doing my show. Like it helps me. Like I get to know people. Like people like complete strangers. Like I've had you. I had Gio. Like Ralph. Like people that I've admired that I've seen from far. This is giving me the opportunity to get to know them better.
And there are people that are close too, like that we know, like from the city,
Yeah, like a person that like was kind of my influence was Ralph. Like I always saw him. He was like a leader, and I admire him from far. Like he used to be he was a DJ, and I saw him like putting himself out there, and I was super supportive. And I saw how how hard of a worker he was, and I always wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, now he still is. Like
no, yeah,
you brought him up, but that's still.
Yeah, and then I was like, I want to talk to him, but I don't want to just message him, but like, hey, Ralph, like I want to have a conversation with him. So having him on the show was a kind of a way of me getting to know him better, picking his brain, and ever since then, like we talk here and there, but he's a busy ass person. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't even remember what the question was.
That's not good, but I was gonna ask you, is that how you brought up the solo bolo?
Oh yeah, the solo bolos were like it's me by myself, and that happened because people were asking me questions, and I didn't feel comfortable to like take time from guests. Cause like if I have you on the show, like I want to make sure it's all about you. Yeah. I don't want to like, cause a lot of people skip to my intro sometimes because they're like 15, 20 minutes. I was gonna tell you that
too. I was hearing them today.
Yeah,
they are kind of long, but at the same time it's good,
Yeah. I mean they're long, but like people ask me questions, like it's also my show, so why can't I talk about me? Like it's, but like if I was to like answer these questions and it's all about you, it'll take me like 45 minutes to answer these questions. And like the first episodes were like 2 hours, like close to 3 hours sometimes.
And that's a lot.
Yeah, and like people's mind or attention span isn't like that long. So I was like, man, I need to make these short. So I try to make them short now, like no more than 10 minutes. But it depends. I have something to say, I'm gonna say it. But like the solo bolos, like that's just me talking about either and trying to inspire people. Like now, start doing affirmations, and like we all see things differently. So I read a quote, or I read something, and I interpret it how I see it. Like you have your way, I have my way, and I'm just letting you know what I think, and I try to expand on it. And yeah, people have told me like, oh, like it's good. Like I really didn't think about it like that, and like some people like have messaged me telling me like me and my kids like we listen to it and we say I'm out loud with you, and like man, that's awesome, dude. Like I said, like I was in my mindset where. Like, I didn't think people wanted, like, to listen to me like that. So, like, now hearing that people are doing it with me, I'm like, oh, man, that feels great.
How long you been doing podcasts?
It's I think 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
I said you got about 148 episodes, huh?
Oh,
yeah. No, you said you got a couple in the book.
Yeah. No, I have them. It's if you include solo bolos, the holiday episodes. It's
those are not included then.
Nah, that's closer to 200.
Yeah,
but see, like I should like be closer to 200. Like I should probably be like at 60 right now.
Yeah.
But because I took those breaks. That like hurt me, like I should be way closer to 200.
Is it more hard to record the solo bolos, and do you do it by yourself? Like,
yeah, I mean it's like a crazy person. It's like you're sitting in the room and you're talking to yourself the whole time.
Yeah,
like you feel like sometimes I feel kind of like crazy. Like, am I going insane? Like,
and that's what I feel when I was doing my blogs back in the days. Like, I was just recording myself. Like it was weird, but.
I mean, if like now you need content if you want something.
Everything just you gotta look straight and make the content.
But I think it helps me. Like it helps me personally, because like it makes me expand on my thoughts, and I see I'm out loud, and I have like counter arguments to what I say. Like I think this way, but like nah. But then I have an argument for that, and then I have an argument for that. So I have like my own little conversation. These conversations that I have in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm putting them out into the world and hoping that people don't think I'm weird or something. And sometimes I say some weird ass stuff, but
Yeah. But that's your like that's you, and then you're just creating your. Nobody's gonna see what we're creating. That's how I
yeah,
feel too. Like I got my own little
yeah,
world, and I got my imagination. Like I thought of doing this, but I didn't thought it was gonna be like this.
yeah,
But it's happening, like
yeah.
somehow, some way.
Man, we gotta like I'm sure this is not what you had in mind, but this is at least something that you're gonna build on. Like
Yeah.
this is just like a step to whatever you want. You know, like I for like so originally I started with the Dick in the Box. So
I
Dick in the
remember that.
Box
Yeah.
was like me and I had a co-host, my homie Jose, and the whole mindset behind there was like Dick in the Box. Basically, the box is your phone, your computer, wherever you listen to it. It's basically a box,
Yeah.
the shape of a box. And I'm the dick, so I was supposed to be a dick to my guests.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I'm too nice. Like I started, like I did the first episode, and
You couldn't even go on character.
yeah, and I was like, man, like you're taking time off your day to like come and talk to me, and I'm gonna be like a dick to you. Like, nah, I can't do that. And eventually, we parted ways because he's doing his music. He was in a band, so this was his like I mean, pretty much podcasting was my thing. He was
Yeah.
just helping me. So he got me on my way, and he's like, you know what, look, it's not like my thing. This is more your thing. So if you want to keep going on your own. So the first episode of the Let Me Know podcast is the last episode of Dick in a Box.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
So
because
that was your start then.
yeah, basically. So after that, like I just kept going, just changed the name, and then like basically it was the same show,
Yeah.
and. Yeah, I mean, I've had my ups and downs because he was supposed to be the engineer, like the person that was gonna take care of the sound. Like,
Damn.
all I wanted was to come, show up, talk, and then I would leave it off to him. But it was unfair. Like now that I realized, like, I didn't take any like responsibility for it. Like it was my thing, but I wanted him to do everything.
The easy way.
And then like yeah, I mean, I've struggled. Like I would spend 2-3 hours on one episode, and like editing is the hardest part. Like editing takes like for an hour, it takes me 4 or 5 hours sometimes,
Yeah,
depending on
same.
how meticulous I am about it. And to tell the truth, like that's valuable time that I could be doing something else. And like I work nights, I could be sleeping. So now like nah, you know what? I'm only gonna spend 2 hours at most, and I'm gonna make it sound good. And I mean, but everything with time, like it's like you can't expect to be great in the beginning, cause you gotta struggle. That's how you're gonna learn, through the struggle. You're gonna have to go through pain, and you're gonna remember those pains, and that's gonna make you like apply that, and so you won't do those mistakes again. But
Yeah.
I mean, we can't hold your hand all the time, though. Faded, you gotta do it on your own sometimes,
Nah,
bro.
for real, but that's dope that you say that because you started editing your own stuff after that happened.
Yeah.
So you learn how to
Yeah.
from scratch.
Dude,
Like
I didn't know how to set up my mic.
I remember,
I didn't know how to turn my mic on. I couldn't like. I didn't know how to even turn my computer on, dude.
yeah,
like,
and now look at you, like what 140, 100 something
Yeah, yeah.
episodes, and
And doing it on my own. Like for the longest, I didn't want to do Zoom. I was like, no, it's all about a personal thing. And then the pandemic happened, and I was like, I had to like realize like, do I want to keep going? Cause I gotta adapt. I gotta start using Zoom.
yeah.
And now I don't even do like the interviews in person. Like this is the first interview I've done in
Oh,
person like in
dang.
2 years, dude. So
That's crazy.
yeah, and I record from my apartment, and then since people like my girl's working from home, like it's not like I could have people over, and I don't know, like
Yeah, it's
I
more
don't know where
hard.
you've been, fool. Like like I don't know your life, so I ain't trying to bring germs into my home, you know.
Yeah, now we sanitize. We got everything.
Nah, I get,
that, like,
I'm not. I
Yeah.
get you, but like, not you. Like, I'm talking about in general. Like,
yeah.
I don't know where people are at. You know what kind of life they live, and bringing them into my home, sitting in my couch that I put my face in the cushions and shit, like fall asleep in. Like, nah, you know,
Yeah.
like I ain't trying to do that. Like, I wash the cushions all. Like, whenever like I had guests, I would wash them every week. So. And I would do like one episode a week, so it works out. But now that my girl works from home, like I can't tell her like go to the room
Yeah.
or like I can't be like, hey girl, like I don't know you, that my girl doesn't know. Like let's go into my bedroom, you know, like.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. One of your pet peeves for podcast?
Well, you mentioned you're like when you told me like a lot of the people that have it on, like they can't carry a conversation. Like people that can't carry a conversation, like sometimes they ask me to come on. They ask me, and then I'm over here like picking, like trying to like pick at their teeth. Like, come on, like give
I
me
say
something.
something.
Like give me something like to work with, like short answers. Like as you could tell, I give you long ass answers.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
because it's much easier like for you to edit. Like you could like take stuff apart. But if I give you one or two, three, like couple of like answers, like a short answer, like you have nothing to work around.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And that's what kind of happened on your podcast when I went in. I was kind of more like,
Yeah, you're like super quiet. I was like, all right, dude.
yeah.
Like I
And
don't
if
know
you guys
what you
want
want.
to check it, I'm gonna say, if you guys want to check it out, it's on episode what 105. Check him out. I'll put your link and so check out his podcast. He was one of the first ones that actually did the interview. You know, like one of my interviews. Probably that's why. You know.
No, yeah. Well, I think that's it. Like you seem like whenever I've seen you and talked to you, like you seem pretty reserved. Like you're pretty quiet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like you told me you want to come on. I was like, yeah, I'll have you on. And then I had you on, and you're like super short answers. I was like, you gotta give me more, man. You gotta. I can't. You have to like. I'm trying to give you an hour, and like at the rate we're going, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. Cause like, but it's cool, man. Like I like the thing is like had you on with when I had experience already, so I knew like what to do.
Yeah.
Like you have to sometimes like you have to sit on it, like make it uncomfortable so they could talk. Like I mean that's what I was doing with you. I was like, all right, well you gotta give me more. So you kept like it's uncomfortable for a bit, so you want to talk. Cause, like that's the thing that like at the beginning people struggle with, like the silence, the quiet moments. You want to fill in those moments every single day, but sometimes you have to sit on it. Like if it's quiet, like it's quiet and it'll set the mood, it'll make it a little uncomfortable. And luckily, like I have a humor about it, so I'll say something dumb and I'll come up with something to like bring up the mood. But
you ever had a bad experience while doing podcasting? And nobody ever walked out like.
Nah, I mean, I'm a pretty chill guy.
But you could be a dick.
I could be a dick if you get me there, like. But
it hasn't got to that point.
Nah. I've never had a bad experience. Like maybe, like people coming on the show have had a bad experience with me, but like. I mean, like in the beginning, like I told you earlier, like I was talking about like dicks and like things that weren't like respectful, and I probably was talking to the wrong people about it. Like it's a comedy podcast in the beginning where, I wanted to like be funny and like I wanted to be edgy and I want to make people laugh, so I would say the randomest things and like the nastiest things I could think of sometimes, and you know, like I think those like. Now with the experience with the time that I've been doing this, you have to pick the people you do it with. Like if you don't know them, like don't do it. You know, see where the conversation goes, and if they take it there, then you know, like feel it, and like if I know you for a while, and you know how I am, then we could be open. But in the beginning, I just wanted to be the same with everybody, and you know, it didn't work out. Like some people won't even come on the show again because of that. So But I get it. I understand. I don't get my feelings hurt about that.
How do you do it? Like, you transition from being a comedian to podcaster or podcaster to comedian?
So I went from being a nobody to, like, buying some microphones and that's it.
How did
like,
the comedian stuff happen? Like, when did that start?
I've always wanted to do comedy. Like, I've always been interested. I always thought that I have a good sense of humor, and I've always made people laugh. And, like, some people that, like, I look up to are comedians, like, you know, like,
for some of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you probably have this with music, but like the reaction, like my words, I put these words together and makes a reaction, gets a reaction from you, like laughter. Like you didn't mean to do it, but what I said made you do it. Like, and like with your music, I'm sure like people are like brings this feeling in them. Like you made this, and that's what like made me feel like so good about it. Like you don't know me, like you've never met me, but I made this happen, like in your body, this reaction that you have no control of. Like I said these things and it made you laugh. And yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of comedy, and like I said, I was like in a really low point and I needed to laugh and I needed to feel good. And making people laugh has always made me feel good. So I thought, you know what, like I want to do it. And my girl at the time, she's like, well, I was like, I want to do a podcast. And she's like, well, what's keeping you from it? So I started doing a podcast. And I was like, well, I want to do comedy. And she's like, well, what's keeping you from it? Mm-hmm. And that makes you realize, like, yeah, like, what's keeping me from doing anything? Like, it's just myself. I'm stopping myself from these things, like, And like you're never gonna know if you're gonna be good or bad at it until you actually do it. And one thing is, I don't want to have any regrets about anything. Like, like that's the saddest thing you could have in life, regrets. Like we all get older. Like time doesn't stop for anybody. And the last thing I want to do is like I'm dying and like man, I wish I would have had the guts to go like to try to at least try and make people laugh or like give myself a chance. Not put like at times we're like our worst enemy. Like we don't think we could do something,
Yeah.
and then we do it, and then like you're like that's what happened with me. I did it, and then I was like, damn, like I did it. Like I've always wanted to do this. I did it. I made it happen for myself, and you know it makes me feel good. Now I see why it's so addictive. You know to be up there and. But it's hard.
You
It's
still doing
also
the comedian stuff or the
I
stand up?
haven't done it like in 2 years since the pandemic because
You plan to go back?
I want to, but to be honest, I'm a little older, and the things I was talking about was like childish stuff. Like a lot of it was about my ex, about
Huh.
my girl.
What's the process that like you come up with like with a joke on the spot or you gotta like write them
Nah.
down and
Well, I can. It's not good, but I could come up with the joke on the spot. But like at the time, it was just things I would notice, like you know, like toxicas. You know, right now that's really popular.
Yeah.
So I have a joke about I don't know if you guys remember. If you remember, like Coca-Cola used to have names on their you know.
Yeah.
So like that's something a toxica would talk like, who's this girl? So I had a joke about that. Like I went to the store and I just grabbed a Coke. You know, I grabbed a Coke because we're about to have lunch and I want a soda. I got home and my girl's like, who's Jessica? I was like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean who's Jessica? I was like, I'm checking my phone. Like is anybody named Jessica? She's like, yeah, who's this Jessica chick? This chick. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she pulls out the Coke. Like, who's this bitch? Who's Jessica? I was like, really? Like, are you serious right now? Yeah, like, why are you bringing another girl's name into my house? I was like, damn, relax. Like, I just wanted a soda. Like, I just picked out one at random. And she's like, man, like, I'm happy that I didn't bring like a water named Aquafina and then you know something like that. Like, that's not the joke. That's just the base of it. You know, like that just I work at a like a grocery store basically, and I would see that, and then I was listening to things about toxicas and listening like watching videos with toxicas, and I was in that weird relationship with the toxica, so it all was like, oh man, this is a perfect joke.
And it's
so.
part like a joke, part of your life that you
Yeah.
could use it on the daily. You
Yeah.
could still use that joke, right?
And then, I mean, and it's like right now, I mean, you're probably watching this video with the toxica, and, you know, with the toxico, so that's relevant. People, it's you know.
What's the hardest thing about being a comedian? Or like
coming up with jokes.
like the whole 15-minute sets? What's the longest set you done?
I could do. I mean, I could do 15. I could do 20. Like the biggest show that I've done was at this bar, and like people dropped out to the point where I was like, I asked like the person that was running it. I was like, you want me to go longer? Cause like I have jokes, they're not ready, but I could just tell them here.
Like a freestyle?
Yeah, basically like I come up with jokes like all the time. So I had jokes that weren't ready. Like they weren't ready to tell people, but I was like, I'm already up here. The thing is like the hardest part is going up there. Once you're up there, like you don't want to get off. Like you just want to stay up there. So I told her, hey, like I have jokes. Like I was done with my set. I was like, I'm done with my 15, but do you want me to keep going? And she's like, yeah, I just keep going. And it was a cool set. It's just I don't remember them anymore.
I'm gonna have on some locations where artists gonna be performing if you done to some comedian stuff. Pull up. I really like
No promises, but I'll see what's up.
Yeah,
like,
well, whenever,
I haven't done it in 2 years.
Yeah,
bro.
whenever you feel ready, you know, I got you.
Yeah.
But have you ever been booed off the stage? Or any bad experience?
See, that's another reason why I kind of stopped.
They did that?
No. I kind of stopped because I wasn't bombing. I was like every set I did, I thought to myself, oh man, I'm the shit. Like I'm good at this. And I was like, it shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't feel like
feeling shouldn't be like
I
you're
shouldn't.
not.
I shouldn't feel like I'm the best at this, you know, all the time.
I think you should though. I think
No.
that's what. When all the time, but to the point that you're like, you know who you are, like type of, you know you got this.
But see, like I was a year in, I don't even know who I am. But like to be up there and like I'm killing it every time I show up, like That's not normal.
That's what I'm saying. Like you know what you got. If you feel it's not normal, then you should already not saying that you should be up there, but you should be getting like
Yeah,
get the rhythm, you know.
but see, like I was, so I have a solid 15, right? Solid like that. I know from top to bottom, like it flows really well, and then but I wasn't moving from the 15. I was just sticking to the 15, and I wasn't growing.
So you just kept reciting.
So
and,
just the same jokes. I was going to the same spot, telling the same jokes, the same spot, telling the same jokes, the same people. And you're performing for like when you do open mics, it's basically comedians. You're performing for other comedians, and
yeah. So is that more tough trying to make a comedian laugh?
they're not like, it's like anything. Like they don't really pay attention to you. They're too busy like thinking about themselves that they're not really listening to you.
Oh.
So I was hitting up these spots where like I was basically performing for my girl. Like she's the only one listening to me, you know. And my girl's tired of my jokes. Like she hears them every single week.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Man, you got the same stuff. Like every week is tell me the same thing, basically. So, like, when are you gonna come up with some new stuff?" And that made me go back a little bit. Okay, well, I'm not gonna go up again until I have new stuff. And I haven't done it in 2 years, so I haven't come up with any new.
Oh, whenever you're ready, want to do
Yeah.
something like just to touch the waters again.
I'll do like maybe 5 minutes if anything.
That's cool, you know.
Yeah, I don't like. But see, I don't like the feeling of like starting.
No, not starting. I mean, I'm saying.
No, like when you go up.
Yeah.
That I don't like that. Like going up on stage and like.
Have a little intro or something to like.
Well, I make it awkward. Like I'm very awkward. Like when I start, like something I would do is like I would take off my hat and I would take everything from my pockets and I put it in my hat, and then I would go back to my hat and it would, like, cause I had the paper with my set. I would look at my jokes and I would put my jokes back. So like that all like. See, like for me, it's like once I hear the laughter, that makes me feel comfortable, cause, like your fear
You
is
need that reaction. It's kind of like social media. Like once you get that one like, you already at least one person. You know, one person likes it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and cause what you wanted, like what you're afraid of is not making people laugh, and when you haven't said a single word and you're making people laugh, like I already know, like okay, cool, like. I was scared that nobody was gonna laugh, and I haven't said anything. Not making people laugh, then okay, then it makes me feel good. Like now, like I'm not as nervous, but then I'm up there and I don't want to get off. So even though I have nothing to say, like I just want to be up there.
Yeah. So do you have any ritual, like how do you prepare yourself before you get on stage? You said you get nervous, right?
I get nervous. I have to go to the bathroom, cause like I don't. For me, like can I say like random? So like my dick goes like I feel like in my throat, like like I get like major shrinkage, so I have to go and like get it out and like play around, and then like I have the shadow box. Yeah.
Like with the arms all sweaty.
Yeah. Like I've never thrown up, but like I get really nervous. Like I'm already nervous as is sometimes.
Yeah.
And then like I have that, I feel pressure, but yeah, like I just try to relax. I try like my ritual is just going up there, like making it a little bit awkward, getting that first laugh, and then once I have it, then I'm good. You know, like, all right, cool. Like I made you laugh already, so let me just get started and say some stuff. And yeah, sometimes you're good, sometimes you're not. Like that means sometimes you're shit, sometimes you know.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it is what it is. Like if you enjoy what you're doing, you're gonna keep going, and if you don't enjoy it, you're gonna find excuses too. Like to stop, and I found some excuses. I enjoy it, but I found excuses, and I've been stuck for a while.
Who are some other comedians that inspire you to?
Eugenio Derbez, I grew up in Mexico, so I was.
Yeah, I was asking that too. I thought you were gonna come out with like somebody else, like
Eugenio
Kevin Hart or something, but that's a good one.
Yeah, well, Kevin Hart is cool, but like Eugenio Derbez,
yeah,
he's a physical guy, and then like he's very clever, like super clever, and I really enjoy that. Like American,
he's a character,
yeah. Like, see, that's what I wanted to do with my podcast. Like, I wanted to do characters and stuff, but I'm just not that type of guy.
Eventually, maybe you can. Oh, I think I remember. You know how to make voices, right?
What?
You know how to make voices?
No.
It wasn't you?
No.
Yeah, there was somebody that knew how to like talk like Mickey and all that. But
No,
it was you.
No. I mean, I wish.
What?
Maybe I think I can, but like to myself, it sounds like Mickey, but nah. But Americans, it was like everybody's gonna say George Lopez, but to be honest, I don't know. Not like he's a little stale.
Yeah.
Because like if you notice, like like what got me started, like what I started hearing was Lion King's a comedy. That's what introduced me to George Lopez. And like if you, it's always a theme. Like he's now talking about the same thing in every show, the same thing, and it kind of got a little stale for me. Dave Chappelle was also like a real like inspiration for me. Like um, but yeah, I mean, I guess the beginning of it was with Henry Derbez. Like there's a guy called Caballo or something like that.
No.
Like it's Spanish. Like he has like um Polo Polo was
No,
also
I know
one.
Polo Polo.
Like there used to be a TV show like on where like a bunch of stand-ups. I don't remember in Mexico. Like I didn't even know what stand-up was, but like that was like my introduction to it. Now that I realize like, oh man, like I was always been a fan of stand-up and I didn't even know what it was. Like I was just thought people were going up there and being funny. What's the other guy? He had a TV show where he would pretend that he was like a student, and like there was a teacher, like she would hit him and
Oh, I remember.
un elefante.
Jorgito, no, Jorge. I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, like the song was like un elefante que se columpiaba.
They had la maestra and then the maestro.
Like that guy is a stand up too, and I didn't even know. Like
I think a bunch of them in that room.
Yeah.
That's what I think was funny that show.
El Piruris.
Yeah, he used to come up too.
Yeah, I had like all these influences that I didn't even know. Like I'm a fan of all that, and once I started like in middle school, like my cousin was the one that introduced me to like Dave Chappelle. He's like, oh look, there's this guy I've been listening to or I've been watching, and we started listening to Killing Them Softly, and then like also like Eddie Murphy was like I mean I just have a bunch of people that I enjoy, but yeah like another reason why I started doing my show because I was going through a hard time, and like I couldn't listen to music, I couldn't watch TV, I was just super sad, super depressed, and then one day like I just went on like iTunes and they had podcasts. I didn't even know what podcasts were, so I just like the first one like I went to comedy and the first thing that was up there I played like I downloaded it and I heard it and it was Comedy Bang Bang. So it's basically a improv show where this guy's interviewing people, but the guests are characters, and like that, like for like maybe a month or two, that was the first time I laughed in 2 months. Like listening to that podcast, and like that made me be like, oh, like I want this. I want to be the reason why people are happy. Like I want the reason why it brings them joy. Like I want my podcast to be like this. Like people might be going through something. I don't know them personally. And that's why I bring different people on, or I try to bring different people on, because you don't know where
everybody got like a different story, you know.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that like bringing you on, it's gonna inspire somebody that might be going through similar stuff that you went through, to help them get out of that situation that they are, you know.
Yeah.
And also that's where I got solo bolos from. So solo bolos are, basically like this guy would bring a character in, but it's supposed to be one-on-one. Like one person, like usually he brings a group of people, but on the solo bolos it's just one person, like and one guest. So I was like, you know what, I like this podcast, and solo bolo is perfect. It's like I use it every like my solo bolos are every at least I put one every month. So I was like, I mean, I'm by myself completely, so it's perfect for me, and it kind of like paying homage to that podcast that got me through those hard times. You know, I'm trying to like. You know, if anybody ever, like, hopefully they listen one day and they want me on the show, like, at least they know, like, I'm giving them credit, you know. Yeah. I stole this from you, but I'm also giving you credit for it.
Yeah, it's all about giving credit and helping, because, like I said, like, you're one of the persons that I look up to for doing the podcast and all that.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
It's an honor to have you too, you know?
I mean, I saw I'm going to be episode 10. That's a good number.
Yeah, episode 10.
Like, episode 10 was actually the turning point for my podcast. Like, I was like, I mean, like I said, I was struggling, you know, and then once I don't remember, I think it was the Paranoias. That episode just brought a bunch of people in. That's what turned my podcast around. Like, people were starting to listen to it because of them, and, you know, yeah, like, I don't know, something about, like, that episode, like, just pretty much launched my podcast. Like, it made me feel like, okay, I'm ready, you know, so.
Well, hopefully my podcast does the same thing, helps you.
Yeah, and then like this is like you're into soccer. Number 10 is like
that's the legend number. Those that don't know, that's the legend number. You got a 10.
Yeah,
you know?
So I mean, I think that's the perfect number. So thank you, man. I appreciate
And I
you
think
saving me for number 10.
exactly. It's probably gonna come out next week, so you guys, tune in.
Yeah.
But I wanna tell you, that you said that you get depressed a lot.
Yeah.
Like, how do you help yourself with that? How do you deal with it?
Uh.
I know, like, a pretty hard subject, but if you wanna
Oh
help
yeah.
somebody that's dealing with it, like,
I mean, I talk about it like every other
the time?
episode, dude. So like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what gets me out of it is, people like my listeners. Like I said, like I've always thought that I'm not important or that who wants to listen to me? I'm a nobody. Why would anybody listen to me? But these messages from random people that I've never met in my life, that some of them live in New Jersey, they live in Wisconsin, Arizona, Texas. Like I've never been to those places. Like I hardly ever get out of Wilmington. The farthest is Long Beach sometimes. And like these random people that have never met me in my life are supporting me. And that makes me feel good. And whenever I feel sad, I go to my reviews and they leave me like great comments or my messages. Like I don't erase them because I know like I'm gonna eventually get sad again, and I need something that helps me like snap back. And you have to be good to yourself. Like people want to everybody wants to get out of it. Sometimes you gotta sit on it and realize like why. Like I think a lot about myself. I think I'm like, why am I going through? I try to break it apart. Like, what's going on in my life? Like, why do I feel that way? Like I mentioned, like for the longest, I was blaming it on my breakup. Like with one of my exes. Like, I was like, well, she was the reason why I started the podcast. But then eventually, I started really thinking like, nah, that wasn't it. Like she left me because like I wasn't moving. I wasn't going anywhere. I've been in the same place. I've been working at the same place since high school. Like I have no hobbies. Like I dedicated my life to her, and I was pretty much becoming her dad. Like I wasn't even her boyfriend or anything. I was her dad eventually, and then yeah, like it made me realize like who wants to be with their dad? Like so it made me realize, man, like I need to find out more about myself. I need to find out who I was, and then that's when I started realizing, no, like the issue wasn't that. The issue was that I wasn't moving on from high school days. Well, I was like thinking about him so much, then I wouldn't move forward. I would just get like, oh, I remember when I was in high school, I would do this. Oh, remember in high school we used to do this. I've been out of high school for like 8 years. I would have graduated two or three times by now.
Yeah.
And I was still thinking about high school.
Damn.
And I was like, nah, that's not it. And like the podcast really has helped me like with my mental health, like my solo bolos. Like whenever I'm going through something, I talk about it there, and I try to expand more on it. And I try it really helps me break it down. Like, why am I going through this? Why am I thinking this way? Like a lot of people think about haters, and like to tell you the truth, I don't think I have any haters. Like if they're hating on me, then I don't know about it.
Why?
And then. Why excuse me, why do I think I have haters? Like, why are you proud of having haters? Like for some people it's fuel.
Yeah.
For me it's like, what are you doing? Like why are people hating on you? What are you doing that people are hating on you, first of all? Like, and why are you proud of having haters? Like I've never really been like one about haters, or I'm gonna prove these haters wrong. Like I think haters is more of your mentality. Like if you think you got haters, then you got haters. But some people, like, to tell you the truth, people don't really think about you as much as you think.
Yeah.
Like, people are just involved in their own life. Like, they don't care about you. Like, as much as you're really self-centered, like, egotistical, narcissistic, whatever. But, man, people don't really care about you. Like, your family sometimes doesn't even give a fuck about you.
Like, we're on our own. Like you said earlier, we're on our own little world. Like, you might think you know us, like I might think I know you, but I might not, or I might have. But we got pockets, we got something, but we got friendship for sure. But we got things that actually connect us and actually think alike. We're like open minded too. We don't. Like, we know how kind of with the haters and all that. We don't pay attention to it. It's just like
that's the thing. Like if you focus on those people that don't like you, that are talking shit about you, like you're not gonna move forward. Like let them like. I mean, let's just let them. Like they want attention. Obviously, they're doing this to get your attention. Then they're hoping, like, for my podcast, like if anybody hates on me, like, hey, hate on me. Like, to tell the truth, I don't even know if they're talking about me. I don't pay attention to them. Like, I'm so involved in my own head. Like I have my own issues in
There's
my
a lot
mind.
going on to worry about
Like to
other
care.
BS.
Like you think about what other people think of me. Like if you think of me like good, good. Thank you. Tell me. And if you don't, then keep it to yourself. Like keep that negative energy to yourself. And I mean, good luck to you. Hopefully you're happy. Hopefully there's somebody in your life that brings you joy. Cause it's not gonna be me. So yeah.
And like to end on a good note, like what happened the best moment in your podcast, or which episode you thought it was like, or it brought you to the next level that you didn't thought
Man.
to keep it going.
See, I don't think that's fair.
No, okay, not an episode, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Not an episode, but have you had that moment like
uh,
that
see,
you thought like, okay, I give up, but then you do something, and then you're like, okay, I gotta keep it pushing.
well, I think I don't know what number, but my so I have another podcast called the Feelings Pod where I talk about my feelings and I have my co-host, my friend Abney, and that was a real turning point, like because I was stuck on this podcast and I didn't know how to talk about my feelings, and then like when she came on the show, we had a good connection. I felt it. I don't know if she felt it at the time. I was like, man, like there's something here. Like I like the vibes. Like we could communicate pretty well. And then she had me on her podcast, and then I was like, no, like, and it was a great episode too. I felt good about it, and I was like, yeah, like no, there's for sure something. And then I eventually I told her, hey, you know what, look, I want to do something with you. I don't know what it is, but I want to have like you have a podcast, I have a podcast. Like, why don't we have one together?
And like collab.
Yeah, and like I feel really like when we talk, I feel really well. Like we could really talk, and like I feel like I could talk to you, and you're not gonna judge me. Like you could talk to me, and I don't judge you. And it wasn't about like sex or anything. It was just like I had a good feeling. Like I just liked the conversations we were having, and I think that was a good turning point because it gave me an outlet to be able to talk about me, my emotions, like what made me happy, what made me sad, like my likes, my dislikes. Where like my solo bolos are that, but at the time I didn't realize I could do that in my show.
Yeah.
Like I felt like no, this is more about my guests. Like it's not about me. Like people don't want to listen to me. Like why would they want to listen to me? But you have your own podcast, dummy. Like you're the only like consistent.
You're the voice. You can say whatever you want, right?
Like, but you're like the consistent person on this show, and if people are coming, it's because of you.
Yeah.
And then I didn't think about that. Like I was like, oh no, they're coming because of my guests. They're not coming because of me. Like, and then like I did that, and I was like, oh no, like, and then that opened up the door for me to be able to talk about my feelings on my own show on the Let Me Know podcast. I was like, well, if I could do that there, like, why can't I do that here? You know, like, it just made me kind of turn. But it took me, 2-3 years to realize that, you know, that I could talk about my feelings on my own show, you know. And I'm all about that, like, mental health awareness. I constantly talk about emotions, how I feel. I'm all about, like I think, like, as men, we don't really, like,
express ourselves.
Like,
we don't.
Like, to tell the truth, like, I can't tell my homie how I feel. Like, I feel like
can.
he's going to judge me, but that's pretty sad. Like, you have good friends and not being able to talk about your emotions. Like, why not? Like, why do I have to... I
got friends that I could talk to them. Like, I'm open.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk, but the thing is that I don't like to talk because I feel like nobody goes through what I'm going through. Like, nobody that could help me, you know? So it's like, true. I could ask you, but at the end of the day, it's like, I know you can't help me, but...
But see, that's the thing. If you don't say it, then you won't really know until...
Maybe somebody will have the answer, right?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, oh, I'm going through this. I have to figure out on my own.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, I just need to say it out loud to be able to figure out to get out of it, you know. And like to me personally, like I'm very friendly. Like as you could tell, probably you guys could tell. Like I could talk. I'm very friendly. I joke around, but I don't really have that one person that I could talk to. Like I had that person, those people, but for some reason, like we grew apart and we're not like that anymore. Like I could still talk to them if I want to, but it's not the same. And like I'm a guy that once I'm in a relationship, that person becomes my best friend.
Yeah, they're like the other you, like.
Yeah, but the issue, like, I don't know if it happens with you. Like, I can't talk to my best friend about the things that she's going like if my girl, for example, like my girl's like my best friend. I can't complain to my best friend about my girl because she's my best friend and my girl.
Okay,
so like. Yeah, like I've always had that issue, like, and for some reason, I know it's my fault. Like I've chosen my relationship over my friends, and then eventually my friends are like, "Well, you never come around, or you're always too busy, or you always want to be with your girl." And then like, but Yeah, like mental health is very important. Like you have to talk about your things because you bottle it up and you end up hurting yourself. And like I've been hurting. I've hurt for a long time, and I don't want to hurt anymore. So if I could find people that are kind of like me, like minded, where they're hurting, and if my experiences helps them, then I'm gonna do my best to say it, even though it's uncomfortable for me. And sometimes I feel like, why am I even saying this? Like I'm putting too much of myself out there. But you never know. Like if I could help one person, then I did what I was like what I wanted to do. That was my goal. Like at the end of the day, with my show, like I wanted to help people. Like I saw people in Wilmington that were hustling, that were doing like taking a chance on themselves, and that inspired me to do like my show, and that's pretty much been the goal throughout. Like you have something, I have a show, I'm gonna bring you on, I'm gonna help you as much as I can, and that's all. Like my thing is helping people. If I could hook you up with this person, like, and if you have something that this person has that you need, and you have and that person has something that from you that they need, then I'm gonna put you guys in the same room, and I'm gonna have you like work with each other to eventually have this bigger thing. Like
Yeah, connection network.
yeah,
Nowadays, what you call it.
yeah, yeah. I think it's pretty selfish to hold that. Like to have that knowledge, to have,
And not share it.
yeah,
Or
to
not
like
help.
have the people that for you to have the lock and I have the key and not be able to use the key.
Or give it to the wrong. Or somebody give the wrong key to somebody, and
Yeah,
this is a waste of time.
yeah,
'Cause
and
it's like,
like I know this person has the key and you have the lock to their key, but I'm not gonna put you in the same room like to help each other open that lock and bring something. Oh my bad, and bring something like bigger than that. Like hey, I'm all about helping, and sometimes like I get messages sometimes of people like, oh, let me be on your show, and yeah, I'm like my time is valuable. Like I like sleeping. I work nights and
well, team no sleep over here. But
yeah, nah,
get some
I
rest.
sleep. I
Get some
don't
rest.
yeah, I need to sleep. Like I can't function. Like I've crashed because I with no sleep. I was team no sleep and I got in the car crashes.
Oh,
So
man, not that
yeah,
bad then.
yeah, nah, I have to sleep.
No,
And
I feel like I gotta keep working and doing something.
nah, I gotta sleep because
But
yeah,
hopefully,
I get sick. If I don't sleep, you get sick, and you can't help if you're not well. You can't help anybody. So I want to make sure I'm in a good place in my life where I could help people. Cause like I said, that's the ultimate goal, just to help.
yeah, and like you said, like we're in a good place right now. Cause I remember when you did your podcast, Cynthia, she was the one that got the contest for Geos.
Oh, okay.
Remember she
Oh,
won?
yeah, yeah.
And then she ended up doing my photo shoots.
Oh, yeah.
So we connected like everybody.
Ah.
So you did something,
Hey. Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember the concha torta.
Yeah,
one.
she was the one that won it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I remember. Yeah, she was a model for you, right?
Yeah, that was saying like y'all connected somehow. Cause if she would have never gone to the shop,
Yeah.
I would have never met her.
See, I'm bringing people, I'm cooking up people all
Yeah,
day.
I'm telling like you do something like you probably don't know, or myself too. Like I'm just trying to help people too,
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know how you do your solo bolo.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank God right now I'm still getting people as I go. But one day if I don't get the artist or whoever I don't bring, I'll probably try that by myself and let's see how that goes too.
You gotta try it, dude. Like you gotta, like I said, like I never thought I could do it on my own. I never thought that people would listen to me, but I mean, those people that enjoy your work, they're gonna listen to you. Like the people that, and then one thing, dude, like one thing that I have to tell you, like, you think that your best homies, the people that you care about in your life, are gonna support you. No, they're not, dude. They're not. I mean, and you know this because of your music. Like,
yeah.
The people that you think are gonna support you the most, they're the people that they'll like your picture, but they won't repost it. They won't do nothing about it. It's those people that don't know you that are gonna go to they're gonna support you. They're gonna put their money on you, and you gotta realize that like we're all taking a chance on ourselves, and we all want to be successful. So like support each other. Like at the end of the day, like you gotta support each other. Like you have a goal, you have a dream. Like we're trying to do something with this, and help us out. Like you. Like the one thing that you asked me about pet peeves. One of my pet peeves is supporting people that are already up here. Like you're supporting the Drakes. You're willing to pay like thousands of dollars for Bad Bunny tickets, but won't support you. Go through a free show, like a free show.
Even that, yeah.
You know, and then or like you're selling a shirt. They're willing to buy like a $3,000 shirt, $200 shirt. They'll go to a Bad Bunny concert or Banda MS or whatever. Yeah. They're paying like $50 for that shirt, but you're selling the same shirt for $10, and they're like, nah, why? Like, why not? Like, he could use the money. Like I could use the money. Like help us
Right.
out. And I know it's selfish because I want you to support me, but like anybody, like you have a homie that wants to do rap or wants to act or wants to do comedy, wants to cook, and like you gotta support them. Like
Even the resources, just by plugging them in, that's a big help.
yeah, like this the thing that with social media, all you gotta do is repost it. It takes a second, one button, and
That's it.
that one action, I bet you'll bring like so much change into their life. So
You know which one, the one that I hate?
what?
When they see the post and they won't like it, they won't share it and nothing. But when they see you in person, oh, I saw this.
Oh
I'm like, oh, did you? But you didn't like it, or what?
yeah, yeah. I mean the thing
That's
is,
what I'm
like,
saying. Is
have,
like,
have you seen those posts where they're that you could post something on your feed and you'll get 14 likes, but you post it on your stories
that's
and
what
you
I
get
struggle
100
with.
likes.
That's what I struggle. I get probably like, let's say 1,000 on likes,
Uh-huh.
and then on the stories I get like 3 or 4. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Look, so I took I went to Italy a couple years ago, and I was like, the most I've ever gotten views is like 300. I took my break. It was a week. Like now I'm lucky if I get 50. Like I struggle so much. I was like in a good place, and people didn't see me for a week, and they forgot about me. Now I'm like trying to work
That's a
back.
bad thing about social media. Well,
Yeah.
the algorithm, we have to be
Yeah.
consistent. And then Instagram, TikTok, all that got a whole different thing going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough, you know. But yeah, you got any shout outs? You want to shout out anything you want to promote?
I'll shout you out. Go
Yeah.
get your album. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go get Faded by Lil Faded. It's parental advisory, explicit content. So make sure you go grab his album. As far as I'm concerned, and also Johnny
D from Spanish
like
Fly.
Spanish Fly, go grab his album, and you got a couple of them over here.
Yeah, got that one too. You could take one.
The other one you got Still in the Hustle by Little Faded. Make
There's
sure
a
you grab
mixtape.
that one.
Check it
Yeah,
out.
man, and if you're into scissors, I know there's some scissors out here. Stainless steel, go grab those too.
Hit
but
me
yeah.
up. You want them custom with your name on them?
Yeah. Hey man, we autograph them, and if you want, but I mean, $20 be good for my autograph.
Support that 20, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you'll pay 100 for Bad Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, I could draw a bunny if that's what gets you in the door. But yeah, I mean, shout outs to everybody that's been on my show. Shout outs to all you guys listening, watching on YouTube. Go listen to my podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. You could find it there. I have like 3 episodes or 4 episodes on YouTube. Yeah, man, I have T-shirts. I give out free stickers. So if you're into stickers right now in February, I did that the Concha heart where it says on Concha, see I love you. Every month I put out a new sticker themed around something that's either going on a holiday around the month or whatever's going on. They're completely free. I just need a place to send them to. Listen to the Feelings Pod that I do with my friend Ebony. Yeah, and Gio has another podcast. He talks about trucks. So if you're into trucking and if you're into like that industry, go check out that podcast. I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, me either. But
I saw him like at the post office, and he was with the person like the co-host of it.
Yeah.
So go check out that podcast.
Shout out Gio. Hopefully he could pull up one day.
Yeah, and then soccer goal. Go make sure if you're
Shout
into
out Soccer
soccer,
Goal.
go grab your I've been when I was playing soccer, I would always get my T-shirts, my uniforms from there. So if you're into soccer, go to Soccer Goal League. Make sure you go play. Go on the Sunday, Saturday leagues.
Check them out.
Yeah, I don't know anybody else that wants a shout out. Hit me up, and I'll give you a shout out next time I come.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
and
man, thank you.
Hopefully you can come again.
Yeah,
I'll have you again next time. And,
I got nothing. But as long as it's not too late, I'll be here. But
yeah, we'll have something better next time, And
I think this was good. Make sure you subscribe, like and share, because that's very important. Obviously, I want people to come check my show out. So if you don't like this one, and
no, you're gonna check me out. You gotta go to him, so you could get to know me, and then you get to know him.
If you want, it's Let Me Know. That's LEMEKNOW. That's how you can find the podcast. A lot of people struggle. They put a T instead of a M.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
Let,
yeah.
but like I said earlier, it's basically my last name is Lem. And yeah, so I'm Chinese. Anybody wants to know about my last name? I'm Chinese. I'm Mexican. That's why my eyes are kind of closed. I didn't get high or anything. That's just how my eyes are.
Nobody got high before this podcast.
Yeah. After maybe a little fade, but I'm
Sure.
good.
Make sure you like, subscribe, check us out, and we out. You're.